What's going on, team? What's going on, team? Welcome to tonight's isolation session for June 19th, 2025, Thursday. End of the week. It's been another very slow and very boring trading week. And that's okay, man. It's part of the job. Right, we take these days as holidays. It's all good. Right, it's crazy. As traders, we really don't want holidays. We don't want days off, man. We don't want nothing. We just want to take trades. We just want to work. Just gonna give everybody another few minutes here to join, and then we'll get started. I did already have you guys wait a few minutes beforehand. I did post a link in the Discord, so again, just want to give everybody a few minutes to join, have the opportunity to join, and then we'll get started. Any questions for those guys who are either watching live or I need water. Watching live or watching the recording, any questions, feel free to message me. If you want to leave a questions in the comment, right? Again, if you watch the recording, you could always just leave a question in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you want to join our Discord is free. You could always join our Discord and ask the question in the chat. Anything else? That's pretty much it, man. Any questions about any of the pairs we're going to be going over on the chat, on the live stream? If you guys have any questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know. If you need me to stop, ask questions, you know, have me answer anything, just let me know. If you need me to do any examples or different ways to explain something, let me know. Anything. All right, we don't really have any questions in the Discord today, or not today, just this week in general. We haven't really had any questions. So, like I said, it has been a very slow week, a very boring week. A lot of news, which hasn't really allowed us to get into any real positions. Sorry, excuse me. Today was a bank holiday for USD, so I wasn't trading today. Yesterday we had FOMC. There, I got hiccups now. We had FOMC news at 2, and we had unemployment, I think, in the morning, right? I believe it was unemployment news, which was at 8 in the morning. So, you know, that was also something I was keeping an eye on, and also the fact that we have the conflict with Iran and Israel. So there's a lot of things going on right now, guys. A lot of things going on that's going to be affecting the way the market moves, and that's okay. Again, we follow market structure at the end of the day, and that's what the market is always going to follow no matter what. It's just really about waiting for that right opportunity to take the trade, right? If you notice it, like, we want to look for continuations in the market, right? It's the easiest ways to trade, because even if we just look at AU right now, like, one day price is going up, next day is going down, next moment is going up, next day is going down, next day is going up, next day is going down. Like, it's just trapping traders, right? And that's what I try to avoid. I try to avoid getting in positions that I don't feel like I'm in a high probability area to where price is going to continue. Meaning, I understand that if I take a trade, there's a 90% chance that price is just going to reverse, right? So I've been trading I'm not, like, the word isn't scared, but it's more cautious, right? Understanding my rules and understanding how the market's supposed to move and how it has been moving is two completely different things, right? So I've been trading a lot more cautious. I've been trading a lot more, you know, if I see that I'm in an area where price might reject highs or vice versa, if I'm shorts and if I see that price is going to reject lows, I'm like, you know what? I'm in profit, I'm out of the trade. I don't even let price get the opportunity to reverse on me, right? And if I get out of the trade early and price decides to continue, then I'll enter on a re-entry, right? I'll look for a re-entry. I'll look for another place to open another position, and that's okay, right? So I think that's pretty much it. That's the only thing I really wanted to touch up on. Again, I know it has been really slow. There hasn't really been anything crazy on the charts that we could sit here and say, like, yo, we love this. This is moving good. We have continuations. Like, We have nothing on the daily time frame. We have nothing on the 4 hour. We have nothing on the 30. There's no continuation on any time frame. We're pretty much trading in the respected area with the pairs of higher highs or lower lows. Like in the pairs are in an uptrend, right? We're currently trading at the higher high. We're looking for a pullback, right? And then for the trades going short, we're currently sitting at the lower lows and we're looking for a pullback. We're waiting for price to give us that push to the top side to give us a lower high. So it's just about really waiting for price to give us that opportunity to trade again, and then we'll go on from there. So also, tomorrow's Friday. I don't usually trade Fridays. I don't believe we have any news tomorrow. So just because we had the bank holiday today, tomorrow the only news we have, I believe, I'll pull it up now. We have GBP news at 2 in the morning and JPY news at 2 in the morning as well. So just because we didn't have any volume really today in the market, that's the reason why I'm gonna be up for tomorrow's trading session. So I am gonna stream it. I am gonna wake up, and I will be looking at the charts, right? And that's what we're gonna do right now too. We'll do the isolation session since Asia session, the day the market after a bank holiday or after high impact news. We usually have a lot of volume come in the market the first couple hours of the session open. So we'll look for these pairs. We'll see if we see anything. If we do, we'll look for an entry. If not, then that's okay. We'll be back in the morning for the NYC session. So just gonna keep it simple for this session since it is the last session of the week. I'm just gonna go over the 30-minute time frame. We already know there's no continuation on the 4 hour, no continuation on the daily, so we'll just keep an eye on the 30 minutes. So AU, we know we're in an overall downtrend. We have a day of drop. Price is still giving us higher high, higher low, higher high up until today, where price ended up giving us a change of character, lower low. Right, so you have this change of character. Again, this is not a indication that we should start looking for shorts now, because the change of character could just be the inducement of the lows. We'll be looking for a break of structure after the change of character, and even in the internal time frame, we could see now that price went lower low, lower high, lower low, back into the higher high with this push to the top side. So gonna keep an eye on AU, but gonna keep it simple. Like I said, we have a change of character on AUDCAD. AUDCAD, we are still in a downtrend in A1. Right, just to see, we have a change of character. We are above the 800. Oh man, we have a day of drop. Euro AUD, we have a change of character back to the top side. Changes to blue. Back to a day of rise. And now we're trading between the change of character higher high and the high and the low. Right, no continuation. Again, we're looking for a break after the change. We'll look for those continuations, those engulfing candles tomorrow morning once we are back on the charts. EURCAD, we have a day of rise. EURUSD, we have a day of rise. Right, and EURUSD, we are at the higher low. And at the higher low on the lower time frames too, we have the change of character and we have the break. And we're on the 800, which we respected. See a higher time frame real quick, see if we have anything. Yep, we have an engulfing candle on the 1 hour. But at this point, I don't think we'll get this pullback. This is a very steep pullback. Alright, and then we have, this would have been a nice engulfing candle too. Right, and then on the lower time frame, you have lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high, higher low. Right, this is where I don't like the lower time frame because of this. So we had the valid break here, higher high, higher low. Then we had higher high. Then we had lower low. Then we have higher high, change of character, right? And then this is where the break would happen. So we would need to wait for this to give us the break. And the reason why I'm saying I don't think we'll get this very steep of a pullback is because of that lower time frame break. I don't think we'll go lower than this today. Right? If we do continue, right? We know we're trading between here and here. So if we got a break above here, then we'll continue that push back to the top side for EU. So that's what we'll be looking for on EU at least. GA, we're still trading between the previous lower low and lower high, so I'm not going to be trading this just yet. But we understood after 3 days of drop, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, the next day we're expecting price to go up or move sideways, and price went straight up on GA. So just want to be careful with GA because we could be still trading in that lower high, very similar to GCAD. We're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. This push to the top side that we see here could be a lower high still. Right, so we want to be very careful with GCAD. I'm not, for that reason is why I'm not going to be trading it. GJ, similar situation. Right, so, and we have 2 days of drop on the third day, which was today. Price gave us a drop rise. Again, I'm not expecting price to give us that 4th day push. What I really want to see on GJ, again, is either the only thing I'm waiting for is for price to break these highs. If price could give me a valid break of these highs, that's when I'll start trading it. But before that, I'm really not interested in trading GJ just yet. But I do need to see a break of those highs. Once we get a break of those highs, that's when I'll start trading. GU, very similar to EU. Similar structure. 30-minute we have lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we're just waiting for that change of character to happen on the 30. And we also had an engulfing candle here today, which happened at 4 in the morning. What was it? A valid engulfing, red, red, green, top candle. No, top candle doesn't have a, or bottom red candle doesn't have a top wick. NZD USD. We have the drop. I'm not gonna update none of this until the weekly market breakdown. Today I'm just gonna really updating the 30-minute area so we know what we could be looking at for tomorrow. 3 days of drop on US30. After 3 days of drop, market must move sideways or go up. So let's see what we could be expecting on that. USDCAD, we had 2 days of rise. On the third day, which was again today, price gave us a day of rise. 3 days of rise, market must move sideways or go down. USD ZAR ended up giving us, market doesn't open for another hour. We'll come back to it. Gold gave us a no net. Yeah, gold gave us a no net for the day. All good. Bitcoin doesn't open for another 40 minutes. New girl moved down the block. And then last but not least, oil moving like crazy, man. Opened as a, or ended as a no net. Right, and this is the shit that irks me, man. 11 a.m. tapped into that hour engulfing candle that we had. Literally just tapped into it and went straight into profit, man. That's crazy work. Alright, but oil, we could turn that off because we could see that ADR was already hit with that opening candle. So that's pretty much it, guys. For us on our list, you know, gold is pretty much sitting in an area that we would like to see. To start looking for entries, going short, but at the same time, just looking at the EMAs, it's not looking like the best time to look for those trades. If we would have had a valid break of the lows, then yeah, that would have been a very completely different conversation. Um, that's pretty much it. GU and EU would be good ones to keep an eye on. I guess GJ would keep a good one to keep an eye on as well. But GA, GCAD are both sitting in lower highs. EU, like I said, will be a good one to keep an eye on. And that's pretty much it. EA could be a good one to keep an eye on as well, but that's pretty much it, man. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Again, any questions, just let me know. Let me check Discord one more time. No questions in Discord. No questions, guys. Okay. Yep, no questions in Discord chat. Alright, perfect. No problem. And then the YouTube chat, yeah, no questions in the YouTube chat. Alright. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace out.